Hi there, my name's Josh. I'm a voice actor and an avid gamer. I'm very excited lately about one gaming genre that I've been a fan of for a long time, and that's platform fighters. Of course, it's no surprise that this video is spurred on by the recent run of the closed alpha for WB Games and Playerverse Games' Warner Brothers crossover extraordinaire Multiverses. It is a dang old fun platform fighter that does what all good platform fighters do, caters to a broad audience. It's got characters that millions are familiar with and hold a fond place in people's hearts. And it's a game that's fairly easy to pick up and have fun. Yet, it has elements that gamers seeking a challenge can sink their teeth into. It's a unique platform fighter. The most unique difference being that there is a focus on 2v2. Not common for most platform fighters that tend to focus on either 4-player party gameplay or those 1v1 me, brah. No items, true tests of skills, let's fight! Each character has a role. There's even a supportive role, which I find cool. I usually tend to play a support role in co-op games, and I like my competitive games to have a co-op feel. I think it works. It's a great addition to the platform fighting genre. But that's just it. It's just in the genre. One thing about the genre that I observe quite a bit online is that, although deservedly so, everything is compared to the king of the genre, Super Smash Bros. Again, comparisons are fair, but I want all games within this genre to fare well. And I think games being referred to as Smash alternatives, and worse than that, Smash clones, and the much maligned Smash Killer may possibly be hurting the genre a bit, right? There are many games in this genre that are, based on the idea that everyone wants to play dream matches. Crossover is absolutely huge nowadays. Crossovers have always been one of the coolest things in nerd culture. Old comic books and video games from back in the day, I would agree. And now that nerd culture is pop culture, there is a lot of revenue to be made because of it. Heck, look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Imagine if they didn't cross over their characters in every film. No one would want to see them. I guess it's a joke. Anyways, people like to see their favorites fight each other, and they like to play as their favorites and fight their favorites. Smash, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, and now Multiverses all share this. And Brawlhalla's DLC shares this as well, but I don't think that's enough to always compare these games, at least not so closely to one another. I've seen it in so many places online. The inclusion of voice acting really makes a difference. Or similar lines, even full articles too. It's easy to tell that it's aimed at a game that has had an entirely different development process, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. And I hate to see the shots being fired. I don't know if they're necessarily direct shots, but I feel like they're shots. I'm not making this video right now to defend the game. I just don't see them as the same. And I don't think you can get the same experience, albeit the better experience, by playing one or the other. Here's a few key differences. Multiverses is a live service game. A live service game is structured much differently compared to retail games. You see, live service games thrive on engagement, so we get things such as dailies and battle passes, amongst other in-game purchases, and one of the most engaging aspects of many live services, progression. Multiverses feels like there's always a reason to play the dang game. You can level up your characters and earn new perks to use in battle. This separates the two games a lot. Perks are cool and work for Multiverses, not for Nick. Nick was developed with competitive play in mind, and perks, I feel, aren't competitive in nature. No. Perks don't break the game, but much like other games that have a similar reward for progression, you do get a slight edge. The aspect that I've never been a fan of is that you're rewarded for playing more, although playing more theoretically gives you an experience advantage already. Yeah, I think that's a thing. While someone at level 1 can surely defeat someone at level 15, level 15 character in this game rather, with skill, there is undoubtedly an advantage with perks. This is ultimately to say that Multiverses, while it can be competitive, and there are people that are competitive at it, it wasn't developed with the competitive platform fighter in mind. I mean, the game has the support of WB Games. WB wisely invested in WB Games, and it's released some incredible titles that were quite successful in the gaming market. It doesn't need to be developed towards competitive play to capture a huge audience. The way it's developed does capture a huge audience. On the other hand, we have Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Nick All-Star Brawl developer Ludosity let it be known early that this game was developed for a specific audience. And although they may not like certain monikers, they made this game for the Melee and Project M players out there. It's an indie game. Nickelodeon, or furthermore Viacom, doesn't have a WB Games. Well, at least not anymore. Viacom New Media made the incomparable Beavis and Butthead the game among some Nickelodeon games back in the day. They license out their IPs. Lately, often just smaller developers and/or publishers. Game Mill Entertainment has made licensed games for Nick before, including their kart racing games, but they are generally made on a budget, much like Nick All-Star Brawl. So, comparing these games on a budgetary level isn't even possible, but I don't want to focus on that too much. A big point of negativity for Nick is the lack of voice acting, and yes, Multiverses has absolutely wonderful and brilliant voice acting. Not just getting all of the original and most famous voice actors that played the roles. I mean, come on. Much like anyone else who grew up in the 90s, I mark out when Kevin Conroy voices Batman in something. I can't help it. But always having really fun interactions between all the characters. They're great. And it's something Injustice has always done very well too. Again, WB Games, you're great. I'm not sure where Ludosity and company are with adding voiceovers to Nicktoons All-Star Brawl, but if the voice lines aren't set in stone, take some inspiration from Multiverses! It'd be great to hear some Nicktoons interactions to even come close to Multiverses. Nick is continuing to build though, and hopefully they can rebuild their fan and player base too. Speaking of build, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is really starting to fire on all cylinders, and it's great to see. I stopped playing a couple months after its release, before Garfield and Shredder, and while those two characters are fun and well made from what I've played, I'm a Garfield main now. They have announced 3 new DLC characters. I think it's smart to have a bit of a roadmap now, and then releasing one character when Multiverses had their closed alpha, I thought was pretty smart too. I think there were a good amount of people that actually went over and played. I don't think I would have hopped on Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl for Jenny if Multiverses wasn't generating so much hype and had me playing platform fighting again. Jenny is fun, and I'm looking forward to Hugh, and especially Rocco. There's a lot to be excited about, and this game has tons of potential, because it feels like because of the way it plays. It feels so good for someone who grew up on Melee and loves Project M to death. This game is a love letter to those games, and that's what it feels like. So, is it apt to compare this game to Smash? Look, I don't know. I'm just tired of hearing the comparisons. No matter how many moves in all of these not Smash games look like Smash games, is it a blatant ripoff or an homage or simply just a Simpsons already did it scenario? Except a Smash already did it scenario. In this scenario, I'm not sure. Anyways, we have a lot to look forward to with these games alone. We still have Smash, and even though it's done, it's still going strong. Brawlhalla is still releasing Legends periodically. That game, while not my type, is a really good example of what a live service platform fighter looks like. They nailed some killer crossovers, many of whom now exist as characters in Multiverses and Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. It continues to be popular, and there's tons of content. And there's Rivals of Aether, which I love and am very much ready to play the new game. I enjoy how creative Dan Fornacci got with that game. There were character moves and functions that are unique to that game and don't resemble anything that we've seen in Smash or any platform fighter since. Rivals 2's announcement trailer was beautiful! Oh, I'm so excited! It'll be a while. It was announced for 2024, and my hope is that when it releases, it'll be joining all of the other platform fighters as another viable and fun alternative. I love having many fighting games to choose from, and now that platform fighters are becoming much the same, it just feels good to have a variety and a choice. This has been Josh Wells. Thanks for listening.